Sung Jin-Woo, an E-rank hunter, had a peculiar knack for surviving catastrophic events. His extraordinary luck, or perhaps something more, had seen him emerge unscathed from 3 separate incidents that had claimed countless lives. The first was the infamous double air incident, a devastating accident involving airborne vehicles. The second, even more chilling, was the complete annihilation of Wang Dong-sak's hunting party, a group of seasoned veterans, inexplicably wiped out. The most recent, and perhaps most perplexing, was the assassination of a high-ranking guild monitoring supervisor. These weren't minor mishaps. These were cataclysmic events, leaving behind scenes of unimaginable devastation and loss. Yet, Sung Jin-Woo walked away each time, seemingly untouched by the chaos. His association with Eugene Ho, a seasoned hunter he met during the second incident, added another layer of intrigue to the mystery surrounding him. His rapid ascent through the ranks was equally baffling. Starting as an E-rank hunter, a designation signifying the lowest tier of skill and experience, Sung Jin-Woo displayed an unprecedented capacity to overcome challenges, conquering C-rank gates with an alarming speed. His exceptional performance raised serious questions among the hunter community, leading many to suspect he possessed a secret, a hidden power that defied explanation. The whispers began. Was Sung Jin-Woo a reawakened individual? This was a term for those who had undergone a profound transformation, unlocking extraordinary abilities that shattered the boundaries of conventional human capabilities. The sheer improbability of his survival in those 3 devastating events fueled this speculation. No ordinary hunter could have survived such calamitous circumstances, each involving the demise of numerous experienced hunters. The statistical improbability was simply too great to ignore. The incident involving the guild supervisor was particularly intriguing. The official report detailed a seemingly impossible feat. A C-rank magician and a B-rank healer had somehow managed to subdue a B-rank assassin. However, assassins were notoriously difficult to counter with magic, especially a skilled B-rank assassin who would prioritize eliminating the healer first, crippling the magical support before engaging the magician. The sheer absurdity of the event pointed towards a hidden variable, an unaccounted-for element that had dramatically altered the outcome. The investigators were baffled. The only survivors were the B-rank assassin, who remained strangely uninjured, the C-rank magician, and the E-rank hunter, Sung Jin-Woo. The conclusion was inescapable. A third party had been involved, a silent, unseen force that had orchestrated the supervisor's incapacitation. It was an act of precision and power that transcended the capabilities of the reported participants. The weight of this realization settled heavily on the shoulders of the investigators. The chief, a man known for his sharp intellect and unwavering resolve, was deeply troubled by this unprecedented event. He knew, with chilling certainty, that something far greater and more sinister was at play. It wasn't simply a matter of solving a single murder. It was a matter of understanding a force that could rewrite the very rules of engagement within the hunter community. The chief made a decision. He wouldn't rely on standard procedures. This called for a more direct, personal investigation. He decided to go undercover, venturing into the very heart of the mystery. He needed to observe Sung Jin-Woo, to assess his capabilities firsthand, to determine the true extent of his hidden potential. This was not a typical investigation. This was a calculated risk, a high-stakes gamble that could reveal the truth or lead to unforeseen consequences. He chose to lead the scouting mission personally, a stark deviation from his usual protocol, indicating the gravity of the situation. This was no ordinary case. This was far beyond the scope of regular occurrences. The stakes were immense, and the chief was willing to risk everything to unravel the truth. The scouting mission brought the chief face-to-face with Sung Jin-Woo. His observations confirmed the rumors. Sung Jin-Woo was far stronger than his E-rank designation suggested. The chief witnessed firsthand the young hunter's remarkable abilities. A quick glance at Sung Jin-Woo's status screen revealed staggering attributes, significantly exceeding those of a typical level 39 hunter. His HP, MP, strength, vitality, agility, and intelligence were all exceptionally high. Even more surprising was the extremely high physical damage reduction of 81%, a feat unheard of for someone of his apparent rank. It was apparent that Sung Jin-Woo was not only a formidable combatant, but that he was actively concealing his true power. Further investigation revealed Sung Jin-Woo had recently leveled up, acquiring several powerful new skills. This sprint skill, already impressive, had been enhanced. He had also learned Vital Strike, a deadly technique for critical damage, and Advanced Dagger, significantly increasing his proficiency with daggers and adding a substantial damage boost. Moreover, he had acquired the Stealth skill, allowing him to vanish entirely, leaving no trace. His acquisition of these skills, coupled with his remarkable stats, further confirmed his immense and previously hidden strength. His rate of advancement was meteoric, hinting at an almost supernatural rate of progression. The chief was deeply impressed, but also increasingly concerned. Sung Jin-Woo's potential, once uncovered, represented both a tremendous asset and a potential liability. He possessed the power to reshape the landscape of the hunter community, but the source of this power remained shrouded in mystery, and its control, a crucial question mark. This mystery was the ultimate objective of the investigation. It wasn't enough to know his strength. The chief needed to discover its origin. The final scene depicted a chance encounter outside a dungeon gate. A group of hunters stood waiting, clearly expecting someone. Sung Jin-Woo arrived, and the party leader approached him, recognizing the young hunter's extraordinary abilities. The leader's words confirmed the chief's suspicions. Sung Jin-Woo was a rare, exceptional recruit, a once-in-a-generation talent. The scene concluded with an offer from the White Tiger Guild, one of South Korea's most prominent hunting guilds. They offered Sung Jin-Woo a contract, significantly higher than any previous offer. The guild's chief, a figure of considerable authority and influence, personally extended the invitation, reiterating the belief in Sung Jin-Woo's exceptional talent and the immense value he could bring to the guild. The sheer magnitude of the offer, almost 50 billion in compensation, hinted at the desperation of the guild to secure the young hunter's services. The offer wasn't simply about money. It was about securing a game-changing asset. Sung Jin-Woo, despite his seemingly unassuming exterior, had become a pivotal figure in the unfolding drama. The chief knew then that this was only the beginning, and he would follow the trajectory of this mysterious hunter with a keen and watchful eye. The mystery of Sung Jin-Woo's extraordinary abilities and his role in the chain of events leading up to the guild's supervisor's incapacitation remained the central focus, and the narrative ended on a cliffhanger, leaving the audience anticipating the next stage in the unfolding mystery. The air crackled with unspoken tension. The opulent office, a testament to the White Tiger Guild's power, felt suffocating. Across the polished mahogany desk, a high-ranking guild official leaned forward, his gaze intense. "How much is the White Tiger Guild's building price for you to make an offer like this?" The question hung in the air, heavy with implication. The other man, his features obscured by shadow, remained calm. "Excuse me, what does that mean?" His voice was even, devoid of any emotion that betrayed his inner thoughts. The official didn't flinch. "We are not using all the floors, but it should be around 50 billion won." The sheer audacity of the offer hung in the silence that followed. "And you want to hand that over to me?" The question, though seemingly incredulous, held a subtle undercurrent of challenge. The official hesitated, then attempted a casual approach. I'm not sure what you're talking about." 30 billion. He trailed off, the slight tremor in his voice betraying his unease. The game had begun. Eugen offered someone a 30 billion won building. The official pressed, attempting to gauge the other man's reaction. "If you're offering twice that price, doesn't that mean you'll be offering your 50 billion won White Tiger Guild building?" Just how great is his ability that Eugen offered 30 billion for him? They haven't even reviewed his rank yet. Isn't he just bluffing because there's no way to confirm it? The shadowed figure remained impassive. "If you think I'm bluffing, I can confirm it for you. Since he offered twice the amount, I thought he had even heard about my deal with Jinho, but it doesn't look like he knows about it." The subtle mention of Jinho introduced a new layer of intrigue, hinting at a larger network of power plays and strategic alliances. The official shifted in his seat, a flicker of doubt crossing his face. "Then we are finished here," he murmured, a hint of regret in his voice. "Did I rush it too much? If I had just found out the details of Eugen's offer, got permission from the guild, and taken small and steady steps." He trailed off, lost in a mental replay of his actions, highlighting the immense pressure and strategic importance of the situation. The shadowed figure broke the silence. "All right, how did you obtain this information about me? Did you research my background?" A faint, almost imperceptible sound, a soft "huh," was the only response. The official, however, seemed to understand. "Stealth," he stated, his voice low. "Don't turn around." "I see. If he's a reawakened person who can even use stealth, then it makes sense that Eugene would make such a careless offer." The revelation was stark, painting a picture of a world where extraordinary abilities and clandestine operations were commonplace. The official continued, his tone shifting to a more explanatory one, attempting to mitigate the tension and to justify his actions. I didn't order the research on purpose. Somebody working in our guild noticed that somebody was clearing C-rank dungeons at an extremely fast rate, so we dug into it and found you. Eugene Ho must have seen your skill during the second raid and is receiving a test from his father's guild, similar to what you both are doing now. Considering all those points, everything comes together, and we arrive to where we stand now." The shadowed figure pressed further, his interest shifting to the scope of the investigation. How many people know about me? Just me and one of my subordinates, the official replied, a hint of anxiety coloring his voice. I wonder how Chief is doing. It looks like I was noticed due to clearing C-rank gates too quickly. I do not want the number of people who know about me to increase. If perhaps a rumor about me starts spreading, can I take it as your and your subordinate's responsibility? A beat of silence. The implication was clear. The man's silence implied acceptance of this burden. The official continued, I'm required to formally report this to the guild master, but I don't want to. I'll warn my subordinate properly as well. Thank you, the shadowed figure responded, his voice still even, devoid of any emotion that betrayed his inner thoughts. The official, however, was not finished. A new gambit emerged. That's a problem. We're running out of gates to train our new recruits. It's not like we can send them to higher-ranked gates. Then how about we make a deal? We'll sell 3 of our C-rank gate reservations. Of course, this is a special offer only for today. If you don't take this chance, it will be hard to reserve a C-rank gate for a while. The offer, seemingly unrelated, was clearly a strategic move, a calculated risk. The shadowed figure paused, weighing the offer. Are you a door-to-door salesman? Since gates don't only spawn in the metropolitan areas, we can train the recruits down in another province. The only problem is that it could create conflicts between us and other major guilds. The subtle counter-offer demonstrated a keen understanding of the situation's complexities. I accept, the shadowed figure declared. How much is it in total? Let's say 300 million each, the maximum price in mana crystals and magic crystals you can get from a C-rank dungeon, the official replied. This was not just a business transaction. This was yet another piece in the complex power game that was unfolding. The shadowed figure countered. 200 million if you're selling for that price. We will make a loss. 300 million is a bit difficult for us. How about 200 million? This negotiation highlighted the figure's astute business acumen. The official paused, weighing his options. The risk of this deal was carefully assessed. Okay then, he conceded, his voice strained. The transaction was swift, almost unsettling in its efficiency. Huh? Hey, is it done? 3 C-rank gates total 600 million won. Please send it to my account. And this is a gift from me. Would you please open your mouth? The sudden offer of healing, delivered with an almost casual nonchalance, underscored the power dynamics at play. The shadowed figure, finally revealing some emotion, was wary. What about my wound? The fact that you just showed me your stealth and healing abilities, can I take that as a sign of your trust? If it means that you will at least keep my secret, Chief. The title suggested the start of a complex, ongoing relationship. The official, for a fleeting moment, was thrown off balance. What was that like just then? Did things not go well with Sung Jin-Woo? His question revealed a network of interconnected events and a shared understanding of the larger game at play. The reply confirmed his suspicions. I think we've met a much more formidable person than we thought, sir. It's been transferred, 600 million just like you said. To think that a cancelled gate sold for this much. To whom did you sell it? It's a trade secret, came the swift and final reply. The scene shifted, revealing the impact of the events from the official's perspective. Chief, second manager's office. Chief, there are C-rank gates left in our area, and all the bidding prices are below 10 million won. Could it be? I think we've been had, Chief. Eugene Ho's team had no intention of raiding tomorrow from the beginning. I failed to scout Sung Jin-Woo and even got scammed. Does this mean he did this without fear that I might reveal his identity? The realization hit hard. They had been completely outmaneuvered. The final twist arrived in the form of an anonymous message. An unknown number. You have a message. Unknown number. This is Sung Jin-Woo. With this, I'll pretend you never did background research on me. The official, left reeling from the events, contemplated the implications. Well, the deal was his background for money. He's a tough one, really. The money we use today isn't much to the White Tiger Guild. I might get in trouble with the guildmaster, though. Job change. Seems interesting. I wonder what kind of monsters will be in there. At last, this game seems to start for real. The final line hinted at a far larger, more complex game that was just beginning. The quiet intensity of the story, built entirely on dialogue and implication, left the audience breathlessly anticipating the next move. The air hung heavy with anticipation. A faint shimmer, almost imperceptible, danced at the edge of the player's vision. This was it. The activation of Active Vital Strike LV1, a skill exclusive to daggers, a whisper of power promising efficient attacks and the ability to strike at the very heart of an enemy's defenses. The impact was immediate, a surge of heightened awareness, a sharpening of senses. This was followed by the whirring activation of Alarm Dasher, the sprint skill, a rush of speed enveloping the player, propelling them forward at a 30% increase in velocity. The cost, a single point of mana per minute, a small price to pay for the advantage gained. But the initial exhilaration quickly soured. Attacks, once swift and decisive, now landed with the dull thud of impotence. The foe before the player wasn't weak, not precisely. It moved with a ponderous slowness, its attacks lacking any real sting. The problem wasn't the opponent's strength, but the unyielding, impenetrable wall of its armor. The dagger, sharp and deadly, simply bounced harmlessly off its surface. A grim familiarity settled upon the player, a memory surfacing of another encounter, another opponent encased in armor that defied their blade. The feeling was inescapable, déjà vu of a frustrating battle long since fought. A sharp, electronic chime sliced through the tense silence. In alarm, the system registered a significant event. A knight, a creature of the shadows, had been subdued, its threat neutralized. A wave of relief washed over the player, but it was short-lived, quickly replaced by a cynical observation. "A proper monster?" the player muttered, a hint of disdain in their voice. This was hardly a challenge, a mere stepping stone, hardly worthy of the name monster. However, the chilling thought of more such encounters, more of these lumbering, heavily armored foes, adulting monsters, the player labeled them, hung heavy in the air. The prospect was undeniably annoying. The dungeon itself felt like a suffocating cage. The darkness, pierced only by the flickering light of a torch, pressed in, swallowing the world in a claustrophobic embrace. It was the definition of an instant dungeon, a temporary space with no escape until every threat within was vanquished. This grim reality underscored the importance of mana conservation. Every point was precious, every spell carefully considered. Adding to the pressure was a constant, gnawing anxiety. The accumulating damage, a slow, insidious drain on the player's vitality. Another alarm blared, its insistent tone echoing the dungeon's suffocating atmosphere. The stark message confirmed the player's worst fears. Escape was impossible until the dungeon was cleared. Further restrictions compounded their predicament. Potions were unavailable, the shop inaccessible, and even the usual healing upon leveling up was cruelly denied. The situation was dire, a stark test of the player's skills and resilience. Stealth and Vital Strike remained their most potent weapons, but their mana cost was substantial, a luxury they could ill afford in this resource-starved environment. A moment of self-recrimination followed. A pang of regret echoed the realization that if they had foreseen this desperate situation, they would have invested more heavily in intelligence. With a resolute sigh, the player initiated Stealth LV1, the world fading into a muted haze as 200 mana vanished, only to be further depleted at a rate of 10 mana per second. Their presence vanished, dissolving into the shadows, a phantom moving unseen. Simultaneously, Vital Strike LV1 reasserted its lethal efficiency. Another 70 mana spent, a gamble on decisive strikes. The terms of the challenge were brutal. Unknown difficulty, no healing, no escape, a deadly game of attrition. This was more than just a dungeon. This was a job change quest, a trial of unparalleled difficulty. The hours stretched into an uncertain future, the timeline a blur of potential weeks. The lack of healing added a terrifying dimension to their challenge. A sudden, jarring thought pierced the tension. Had they even completed their daily quest? The initial expectation of a quick, one-night affair now felt like a naive fantasy. The specter of defeat loomed large. If this dragged on beyond 12 hours, they risked becoming prey once more. A chilling echo of the previous near-fatal encounter with the centipede. A sense of urgency tightened its grip. The need to swiftly change jobs and complete the daily quest became paramount. The memory of their panicked retreat from the centipede, a humiliating escape from overwhelming odds, flashed vividly in their mind. But a new question arose, a glimmer of defiance in the face of fear. Could they face the centipede now, defeat it, where before they had only fled? Before such a momentous challenge, however, a more immediate task lay ahead. The heavily defended enemies at hand demanded their undivided attention, each a small, perilous step closer to the final showdown. A grim strategy formed in the player's mind. If the armor remained impervious, they would change their tactics, focusing on the vulnerable points, targeting the bones beneath the protective shell, exploiting the gaps in the enemy's defenses. The familiar chime of the system's alarm echoed once again, heralding another victory. Another night, vanquished, its threat neutralized. The spoils of battle were modest but welcome. A leather pouch, a simple container, revealed a sizable sum of 30,000 gold within its worn leather. A High Knight's chest plate, a piece of B-type armor promising a 7% reduction in physical damage, though it came with a trade-off, a reduction in movement speed for those lacking sufficient strength. The addition of this gold to the player's existing wealth brought their total to a significant 863,400 gold. But the respite was brief. Another alarm blared. Another night. This one a phantom of the shadows, utilizing the art of stealth. This foe was different, a magician wielding the destructive power of blaze magic, eerily reminiscent of the devastating spells employed by Jogai Wan. A disquieting sense of repetition settled over the player. It was as though they were reliving a past battle, a nightmarish rerun of a previous confrontation. The dungeon, far from simple, was proving to be a labyrinth of challenges, a kaleidoscope of foes requiring varying strategies. Each encounter was a lesson in adaptation, demanding a nuanced approach. Strength reigned supreme against the heavily armored knights, while sense was crucial for the elusive assassins. Archers demanded agility, while the magic-wielding foes called for a reliance on vitality. The player's current stat allocation felt inadequate. Without sufficient strength, the knight's armor remained impenetrable. Low sense made the stealthy assassins a formidable threat. The lack of investment in intelligence was acutely felt, hindering mana conservation, forcing the player to severely limit their use of skills. Fatigue, an insidious foe, was accumulating relentlessly, adding a relentless pressure to the already desperate situation. The longer the fight continued, the worse the conditions became. A moment of respite was deemed necessary, a brief moment of stillness to alleviate the relentless drain of fatigue. Yet, the enemies pressed on, offering no reprieve, a relentless assault on their stamina. Another leather pouch yielded a smaller amount of 20,000 gold and a simple water bottle, its contents lukewarm. The player pushed forward, their level rising significantly, their inventory swelling with salvaged equipment, their fatigue lessening. The time had come to venture onward, toward the next, undoubtedly perilous stage. Among their recently acquired loot were a warden's necklace, a high knight's chestplate, archer's gloves, high knight's gauntlets, a high magician's ring, and assassin's boots, all of B-grade quality. The looming presence behind the door to the boss room was undeniable. A palpable chill seeped from the chamber beyond, a silent warning of the power that lay in wait. A king's throne rune lay near, an artifact of a forgotten age. The player felt a familiar sensation, a tingling of the fingertips, the memory of a chilling encounter returning, a sensation they knew all too well, the presence of immense power. The cold seemed to emanate from that very door. The anticipation was palpable. The final scene revealed the character's current status. Name Sung Jin-Woo, level 45, job non, fatigue 43, title Wolfslayer, HP 45,118,330, MP 6, 679, 0. The final challenge lay ahead. 13.0s. A chilling wave of dread washed over me. Before me stood the blood-red Commander Egress, its name a stark crimson against the dungeon's gloom. A name that screamed of power far exceeding anything I'd encountered. It moved with a terrifying grace, a predator stalking its prey. The commander effortlessly sliced through massive stone pillars, the solid rock yielding to its attacks like soft tofu. This was an opponent of terrifying power, a foe unlike any I had ever faced. My attacks, even with active Vital Strike, were completely ineffective. The commander's defenses were impenetrable. Its strength clearly surpassed 80. Its destructive potential far outstripped my own. And its speed. Its agility was breathtaking. My dagger, normally a weapon of precision and lethal efficiency, was useless against its armor. The commander's defenses were superior in every aspect. Despair clawed at me. How could I possibly overcome such an overwhelming adversary? This was far beyond anything I had anticipated. Without a weapon capable of piercing its armor, victory seemed utterly impossible. The weight of the situation pressed down on me, the chilling reality of my predicament inescapable. I felt the icy grip of defeat threatening to consume me. If I couldn't breach its armor, I couldn't inflict any meaningful damage. A desperate strategy formed in my mind, a plan fraught with risk, a gamble that could easily make the situation infinitely worse. It was my only option. The commander's voice, a cruel mockery, echoed through the cavern. Chivalry? You're not taking me seriously. The words were a blow in themselves, a cruel taunt that cut deeper than any physical attack. A massive blow slammed into my defenses. I managed to partially deflect the attack, but the impact still sent a jolt of pain through me, reducing my health by approximately 500 points. Without my armor, a direct hit would have been fatal. Even disarmed, the commander remained a terrifying force, a creature of immense power. How could I, a single warrior possibly contend with such a monstrosity? Despite my clear inferiority in terms of raw strength, I had one significant advantage: speed. Alarm Dasher, my sprint skill, activated. A surge of energy coursed through me, boosting my movement speed by 30%. The cost, 1 mana point per minute, was a small price to pay for the increased agility it granted. I needed to rely on my speed, on my ability to evade the commander's relentless attacks. The dance began, a deadly ballet of evasion and desperate maneuvers. I became a blur of motion, darting and weaving, avoiding the commander's devastating blows. Each narrowly avoided attack was a testament to my skill, a testament to my will to survive. But the relentless pressure, the constant threat of annihilation, was taking its toll. The dungeon echoed with the sound of the commander's frustrated roars, its attacks falling short, impacting the stone around me with earth-shattering force. The sheer power of its blows was awe-inspiring, terrifying. It was a testament to the incredible strength of my opponent, but it also served as a chilling reminder of my own vulnerability. A piercing alarm blared, a stark warning echoing in the cavern. My health had fallen below 30%. The red warning light pulsed before my eyes, a grim reminder of my dwindling life force. But amidst the terror, a surge of relief flooded through me. My perseverance skill, a passive ability, activated, reducing incoming damage by 50%. This was a lifeline, a crucial buffer against the commander's devastating attacks. My passive skills, my defenses, worked in concert, providing a crucial shield against the commander's onslaught. A surge of renewed determination surged through me. The feeling of despair retreated, replaced by a fierce resolve. I would not be broken. I would not surrender. A grim smile, born of desperation and defiance, spread across my face. I laughed, a harsh, defiant sound echoing in the echoing cavern. The laughter was a testament to my unyielding spirit, a defiant challenge to the monstrous commander. I refused to succumb to fear. I would fight to the very end. The odds were stacked against me, the commander a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, but I would not give up. I would find a way. I had to. My survival depended on it. The fight continued, a deadly dance of evasion and desperate attacks, each move a gamble, each second a victory hard won against a foe of seemingly limitless power. The dungeon's oppressive atmosphere, the weight of the battle, did nothing to dampen my resolve. I would survive. I would prevail. Or I would die trying. The fight was far from over. But for now, I lived. The High Knight's Gauntlet, a B-type armor piece, offered a 3% reduction in physical damage and, importantly, protection against hand injuries. However, it came with a caveat. Movement speed would be reduced if the wearer's strength fell below 80. Despite the challenges, a fierce determination burned within. I haven't lost yet, the warrior declared, a vow echoing in the confined space. I won't hand this item over to anyone else. I can take back my stolen dagger and call it again. The warrior analyzed the situation, noting the shallowness of the current objective. It's shallow, they muttered, urging themselves on. A bit more. Focusing their energy, they activated Vital Strike LV1, a dagger-specific skill costing 70 mana. You have learned to attack efficiently, a notification echoed, followed by, you now deal critical damage as you attack your foe's vital areas. The warrior repeated this process, activating Vital Strike again and again, each time the same message is appearing. You have learned to attack efficiently. You now deal critical damage as you attack your foe's vital areas. The repetitive nature of the notifications underscored the warrior's focused, almost desperate, reliance on this skill. A sudden alarm shattered the concentration. You have slain blood-red Commander Egress. Another alarm chimed in quick succession. You leveled up. You leveled up. The warrior, catching their breath, questioned the outcome. Did I win? That was really close. A series of zeros appeared, followed by the phrase, zero ability technique, highlighting the reliance on raw power and perhaps a touch of luck. Skill experience that I wasn't better in any of those. It's pure luck that I managed to win. If I made a mistake, I would have been in serious trouble, they admitted, acknowledging the perilous nature of the encounter. If it's that strong, it could fight toe-to-toe with an A-rank hunter and not fall behind. The spoils of victory were then revealed. Items: Red Knight's Helmet, Dominator's Touch Runestone, Heartstone have been obtained. The warrior's spirits lifted. Wow, this reward is on another level. It looked like it was worth to risk myself here. Opening the leather pouch, another notification appeared. You have received 1.5 million gold. The warrior was astonished. They gave me as much gold as I have right now. To think that my gold doubled in an instant. The total gold count was updated. Total gold 3,115,629 G. But there was more. Furthermore, an S-rank item. The details of the prize were displayed. Item: Red Knight's helmet. Item class S-type armor. Plus 15% physical damage reduction. Plus 20 stamina. Plus 20 strength. Excitement surged through the warrior. Excluding the Demon Castle key, isn't it the first time I've got my hands on a piece of S-rank equipment? The stats are on another level. The warrior calculated the implications. Even with the 15% damage reduction, it would be amazing, but plus 20 stats on vitality and strength as well. That's incredible. Strength 128 plus 20, vitality 87 plus 20, agility 127, intelligence 6. Physical damage reduction 46% plus 15% equipped, and a runestone as well. I wonder what skill it contains. The details of the runestone were then displayed. Runestone. Dominator's Touch-type runestone. A skill can be obtained by breaking the rune. A new item appeared. Item: Half-stone-type consumable, quest-exclusive item. If you break the half-stone, you will instantly leave the dungeon. If the job quest ends, the dungeon is automatically destroyed. Cannot be stored. This puzzled the warrior. Why was I given a half-stone? This was definitely the boss room. If a heartstone was dropped, perhaps, does that mean the quest is not over yet? The information about the Red Knight's helmet, the runestone, and the half-stone was reiterated. Item: Red Knight's helmet. Item class S-type armor. Plus 15% physical damage reduction. Plus 20 stamina. Plus 20 strength. Runestone. Dominator's Touch-type runestone. A skill can be obtained by breaking the rune. Item: Half-stone-type consumable, quest-exclusive item. If you break the half-stone, you will instantly leave the dungeon. If the job quest ends, the dungeon is automatically destroyed. Cannot be stored. The details of the previously acquired leather pouch were also recalled. Item: Leather pouch-type container. A pouch used to store possessions. Contains 1.5 million gold.